What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. I am Boomer Barber. Shaved the mustache though, looking like I'm 12 again. But yeah, I wanted to make this video. It's kind of more of like a rant video. I guess you could call me Barber Turley. For some of you guys that came from Sim, you know what I'm talking about. But it's just something I want to address. You know, it's kind of a touchy subject, so I'm sure some of you guys aren't gonna like it, but it is what it is. I just feel like it needs to be talked about. But it's really gonna be over paid content, paying for content in MX bikes, and what I think it could really do for the game versus, you know, everybody talks about it hurting the game, but I'm going to be riding on a track today, Old Bridge Township, I believe is the name of it. It's made by Rock Chalice. It's a really cool track, but that's the one I'll be riding as I'm talking. So let's get into it and check that out, and you guys can listen to me cry and moan about everything. All right, guys. So once again, this is Old Bridge Township Raceway. It was made by Rock Chalice. 387 KTM, I believe. 3875 KTM. But he's made quite a few tracks. He's really been kind of pumping them out over the past few months, probably really 6, 7, 8 months. He's pumped out a lot of tracks, which I think is great because he's able to learn and build from that. But if I'm being honest, most of his tracks I don't really care for. They're just kind of plain and boring. But this track here, I believe to be his best track by a long shot, and also just a really good racetrack. Like, it's got great potential to being a great track to be ran in series, etc. The cuts and all that seem to be pretty good from what I've seen. But it's a fun track. It's a great track. But anyways, I wanted to shout out, give him credit for this, but I wanted to get into, you know, paid, I don't know if you'd call it transactions. I mean, I guess it is, but basically content creators in the game, certain ones, of course, like obviously not me, just because, I mean, I threw up something together and tried to charge for it when I have no history of being good at track making or modeling or anything like that. But really, I'm kind of speaking for the guys that are fairly well known in the community for putting out quality content, whether it be tracks or I don't know what that noise was, whether it be tracks or models, for example, like bike models, OEMs and all that, or I guess certain gear models, etc. But not speaking to the guys that are ripping stuff from Sim and claiming it as theirs and all that. Really just talking about the guys that are starting from scratch and making content for the game. But it's just these guys, especially, I mean, the bike models and all that are crazy amount of work. Like, if you guys haven't seen that, I mean, I highly suggest you just going and watching somebody try to model a bike in this game, and the amount of time it takes. It's kind of really, it'll blow your mind, especially if you're not familiar with those programs. But it's wild, like the amount of time and effort that goes into that. But I'm also talking about the guys that are doing the same thing with tracks and objects and all that. But you know, it's always a touchy subject whenever you start talking about money. Anything to do with money in a game, it seems to always be this crazy touchy subject. But this game is much different than microtransactions, etc., something like that for Call of Duty or any big AAA game. Everything in this game, outside of what comes on it stock straight when you buy it from Steam, is everything outside of that is made by people. It's made by people that aren't getting anything from it. No money. They're not getting anything other than attaboys, you know, like clout. That's what they get. And I just feel like, you know, everybody thinks that money is going to break the game. It's going to make it toxic. It's going to do that. But I don't think they think about the benefits of it on both ends, as the consumer and as the person that's making this stuff, you know. I mean, just for example, let's say you've got a neighbor that's perfectly capable of mowing their yard, but you just like mowing yards, right? Like, you like mowing yards, it's fun. But let's say that neighbor hates mowing their yard, so you're like, you know what? I'm going to go mow your yard for you. And you mow their yard every week for free. Nothing, you don't charge them anything. Eventually, you're going to get tired of mowing yards. You're going to get tired of doing something just for people to say thanks. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want people to get it like twisted or mixed up and think that that everything should just be paid for. But when you've got these guys that, if you don't know, you know, these tracks can take months to make, month and a half, 2 months, depending on what's on it. You know, like this one, for example, it doesn't have all the custom objects and all that. This one probably didn't take a terribly long time. But when you're looking at some of these other tracks that are coming out by guys like Jen and who else? TFC. I mean, Hurin, all these tracks these guys are making, and custom models they're making for these tracks. It's a crazy amount of time and effort that these guys are putting in just for people to say, thanks, man, that's a cool track, you know? And they're not doing it to make money, and they're not doing it because they don't like doing it. They enjoy doing it. That's why they do it. And they like seeing people like ride their tracks and enjoy them. But eventually, kind of like the mow in the yard deal, eventually they're gonna get burnt, and they're gonna say, why am I wasting my time doing all of this, you know, for a couple hundred people to be somewhat happy for it and ride and play these tracks for a couple weeks and then forget about them. So I mean, eventually it's gonna get to where those guys are going to start bouncing. They're going to have things come up in real life, or they're going to be tired of doing this and really having nothing to show for it. So I really think that, let's just say somebody made 5 tracks. Like, they're like, okay, I'm making these 5 tracks. I'm going to make sure they're done right. I'm going to make a video or have somebody do like a review video on it. I'm going to post good screenshots so that way people can see that these tracks are good tracks. And then I'm going to charge $5 for the pack. I'm going to try $5, so that's $1 a track for the pack for this track pack. I mean, don't you think they deserve that? You know, I get people all the time, oh, I'm not paying for anything. I'm not paying for anything. But they're not realizing it's their friends. It's people that they ride and play this game with. It's people that make this game what it is doing all this. It's not some multi-millionaire billion-dollar company. It's just your average guy. And they're, oh, I'm not buying that. I'm not paying for anything. Well, then, I mean, what do you want? What's the game going to do? How's it going to turn out? If that's the attitude from the majority of people. So I don't know, like, I would hate for all because there's been a lot of tracks coming out. That's why I'm kind of bringing it up. But I would hate for these guys that are busting their ass doing all this stuff, spending countless hours on a track or tracks to just say, you know what, like, this is dumb. Like, I've had enough. I mean, and even like, say if it was 5 tracks and it was $5, let's say 100 people bought it and downloaded it. Downloaded them. That's $500 for like months of work. You know, so like 100 people download it. That's all ended up downloading it. You make $500 for like 3 months worth of work. I mean, it's still not worth it, but it's a hell of a lot better than just, oh, cool tracks. Thanks, man. That was cool. Appreciate it. Thanks for spending all that time for me to play this track and for all these people to play this track. And the best you get is like, thanks, which I mean is good. Like, that's at the end of the day, you know, that's what really, you know, people want to see. That's what they want to be appreciated. But eventually just verbal appreciation is going to be like, it's not going to be enough. I mean, and on the flip side of things, let's say that it's successful. People are buying these tracks, they're paying for them, everything's going good. That's only going to push these content creators or people making all this stuff to try even harder and come out with better stuff. Because if they don't, then people aren't going to buy their stuff. You know what I mean? People aren't going to buy their tracks. So at the end of the day, yes, you're paying for something, but you're really getting a major benefit out of it versus than what you think. Like, people just automatically hear money and they're like, oh, nope, I'm not spending money on that. But they'll go to McDonald's that day or wherever and spend $12 on a freaking cheeseburger and some french fries. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just kind of aggravates me whenever people act like that. And, you know, a lot of the times, I guess it's, you know, there's a lot of like 13, 14-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids playing this game. And sorry, my wife's messing with me right now. But there's a lot of like 13, 14-year-old kids or whatever playing this game, and they're, oh, well, I don't have the money. I don't have $5. I don't have $10. Which I understand, you know, I mean, I was 13, 14 years old at one time. We were all kids at one point. But you know what? Like, how do you think I got my first dirt bike ever? I think I was 12 years old. My parents didn't want me to have a dirt bike, but they said, you know what? If you can figure out a way to buy it, you can get it. So the first thing I did, I went straight to my neighbor's house, asked her if she would mind me mowing her yard. Then I called up my grandparents, asked if they would mind me mowing their yard. So I mowed 2 different yards for a couple months. And then I went and bought me a used little XR80. That was my very first dirt bike. I mean, that's what you have to do. You can't just, oh, I don't have money. I'm only however old. Well, I get that. You can't go get a 9-to-5. You can't go get a job. But there is things you can do. But I guarantee you spend that money on like I said, a cheeseburger or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, just stupid shit. So that excuse really doesn't hold any water in my opinion, because you're buying, there's all these people playing all these other games on Steam they're paying for. So, I mean, it's not that I want to see anybody become rich or become broke playing a game. It's that I think in the long run, it will benefit everyone. $5 for me and from a few people could really help somebody out and give them motivation to continue putting out quality content. So, I mean, why do you think YouTube does what it does? Why do you think Twitch does what it does? I mean, obviously they're making money off of it, but at the same time, they're paying these people that are bringing in a lot of people because they're good at it. So why wouldn't you try to do the same thing for your homie that's playing this game that you could probably join a Discord and talk to if you wanted to? Like, it's real people, real life. Do the same thing for them, you know? Help them out. They're helping us. They're giving us these tracks for free. They're giving us all this gear for free. They're giving us OEM bikes for free. I mean, that's a lot out of people, you know? That's a lot of time and effort out of people, and they're gonna get burnt. It's just a matter of time before they get burnt. So eventually, and that's what'll kill the game. I mean, the community in this game is amazing. It's a great community, but what's gonna kill it is the community starting to fade away, because they don't really have anything left to offer the game, and the game and the community isn't offering them anything. So I don't know. Once again, I know I was going to go on this rant and go all crazy with it, but it just kind of aggravates me. It just aggravates me. I can't stand people The worst kind of person you can be is entitled, to feel that you're entitled to something. And that's the vibe I get from a lot of guys, mostly the younger guys, but I get that vibe from a lot of guys in this game, that they're entitled to whatever the hell is out there. I'm not paying for that track. I'm not paying for that bike. I'm not paying for anything in this game. That's bullcrap. I'm not paying that. Well, if you really like the game and you enjoy playing it, you'd want to keep your community strong. I mean, I appreciate the hell out of people whenever I do some of my streams and I get some donations and all that, subs. I mean, that's awesome and I appreciate it. And that's what keeps me wanting to do it. Not just the money at all. Because, I mean, truthfully, I don't need the money. I wouldn't make enough money off of this small game streaming or whatever. But it's a good feeling, and it makes me think, well, damn, like these guys actually do like what I'm doing, or they like watching me, or like listening to me bitch. And it's kind of the same thing for those guys, They're literally the how would you say it? They're the support system for this game, and people don't realize that. Like, sure, they like watching guys like me stream, or guys that are good stream, and they like watching these different events that are streamed. But the true backbone of this game is the content creators. Because all this gear, this bike that I'm wearing right now, the bike that I'm riding and the gear I'm wearing right now, that was made by somebody. I didn't make it. Could I do it? Yeah, probably, but it would take my ass a long time, and I'd have to try to learn how to do it and make it all just right. I've made a couple bikes, and I felt like I did a decent job, but it took me like days. It took me like 20 hours to do my very first bike, skinning it. So, I mean, you see these guys that are charging to skin bikes, and more power to them if that's what they want to do. I don't blame them. I truly don't. Now, if they're doing trash jobs and charging, then that's one thing. But if they're good at it, I don't blame them for charging. And I don't hear a lot of people kind of crying about that, But then all of a sudden you talk about content coming out that had 100 times the effort put into it. That's whenever people start bitching. Well, I bought this game. I paid for it already. I shouldn't have to pay for anything. Well, no, you bought this game from Baboso. You bought this game from him. And really, he hasn't even been present lately. And that's a whole nother story. But you're talking guys that that don't work for anyone, doing it on their own. So I don't know. I'm beating a dead horse. I'm just going to keep talking. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. And I think, guys, comment and let me know what you guys think. I mean, obviously not everyone's going to agree with me, but let me know what y'all think. Let's talk about it, discuss it, because I think it would be a good idea for certain people, certain, verified, good at what they do, content creators, track creators, even the model creators, guys creating these OEM models. So, all right, guys. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Sorry for the long rant, but like I said, I just wanted to talk about it. But the typical like, comment, subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. I've been shown a lot of support here in this community, and I do appreciate every single one of you. So and as far as the commenting goes, I would love to see some of y'all's inputs on this. I would like to see some conversations in the comments, see what people think and how they feel about it. I mean, not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's totally fine. That's fine. That's just how the world is. That's how it works. Not everybody's going to agree. But I hope that maybe it shed a little light on it for you guys, and maybe make some of you think about it that maybe we're super opposed to it. But anyways, I plan to do some more videos here on YouTube. I've been enjoying it. It's less stressful. I mean, streaming's not stressful, but it's kind of cool doing it on my own time and putting videos out and seeing where it goes. But thank you guys for watching if you made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.